Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wind and Thunder Gaming. Papa P's post-analysis of the MiniRumble. This is a very interesting game, and we have. Well, I'm only doing the finals, so we have Zill's Merrymen versus the Falconeers, and I'm gonna absolutely rip into the Falconeers, so I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. Uh, the thing I like about these two games is that it really reciprocates everything I was talking about last week about, communication between a Junker Pyramidian combo, as we can see on the red team, and what happens if, you don't synergize properly. So, we'll jump right into it. We got the Then It Was Rebuilt rocking Lumberjack, Hwacha, Gatling on the left side, and a Carronade right. And we have the Blame Doug rocking two left side Mercuries, and then Mortar Gat on the right, and I think a Merc Cannon or Banshee on the front. I can't remember. These are pretty meta from what I can remember. Gat Mortar, and yeah, that's about it. They're really looking to brawl here. So, this first engagement, we can see Snuggly Gosling. I like that they're kind of sending the Junker in first, but where this goes wrong is they attempt a pincer maneuver around this building. I'd use my map, but I literally cannot tell where anything is or differentiate on this map. So here we go. They're slowly trucking in. They're very open right now, so I'm surprised they didn't commit a lot more to this than they initially did. So here comes the split. We got the Junker coming around one side, right? But in that amount of time, Snuggly Gosling got absolutely ripped apart. So if you're going to be aggressive, you really want to commit. Like, you cannot go half in and then have your teammate break off, because that's just not going to happen, right? I think the train ends up doing a bit of work for them. But yes, okay, so the pincer maneuver was a really bad idea. Splitting up their forces around this building was not a great idea. I think I would have liked to see the Amadeus stick with the Snuggly Gosling to try and body block some of that damage, to try and, maintain a bit of survivability while you're charging a gun line, which is very not recommended to begin with, but from where they were, I don't think they really could have avoided it. And once they got to a certain point, they were pretty goddamn committed. So here we got this edge of map shenaniganry. Like, this building here is edge of map. So Blame Doug and Amadeus are just knocking all over the place. Amadeus trying to get their gun arcs on, and then it was rebuilt, but he ends up getting eviscerated because he picked the tankier of the two. So yeah, not a lot happening there. This is a quick game, so I think I'm going to let it play through. I mean, it probably started like a couple minutes ago, but on Parisian Rumble, it takes quite a while for the two teams to find each other. So now I get to point out, this is where we have that Junker Pyramidian kind of miscommunication where, or was it this time or the next time? Hum ho. I think it's the kill after this. So I retract my statement. A lot of that Hwacha burst missing. That's another reason I don't really like the Hwacha being used for long range, because it takes so long for the projectiles to travel the distance you want them to that it's really easy to dodge or shrug off on your balloon or whatever the other team feels necessary. So Snuggly Gosling, there's some sort of miscommunication here. Amadeus is getting caught way out here. Snuggly Gosling is nowhere near to help. The Amadeus just ends up getting ripped apart by that galleon and the support Merc fire from Blame Doug. Merrymen have been playing a very snipey kind of build recently. This is the most meat grind thing I've ever seen in my entire life. when your teammate goes down and you're that far away and neither of the enemy ships are scratched, it is hella inadvisable to even attempt this. So yes, this was a bad idea. He should have waited, and then he wouldn't be at a 4-0 disadvantage. So that was a very big blunder on the part of the Snuggly Gosling. Yes, this is where Brick Hardcastle was calling the Amadeus cheeky, trying to poke at them with one Mert cannon. Managing to get like a disable here and there. Like, you're not going to be able to out snipe anything with a Mert cannon, especially not a like a snipe build like the Merrymen have. Not quite the strongest snipe build, but it's a very versatile thing that they like to use because it does lend itself to brawling if you get caught in that situation. So here we go, miscommunication time. We have the Amadeus way out on this side, and we have the Snuggly Gosling here. They're like, okay, we gotta charge, kid, go, right? But then the Snuggly Gosling gets way ahead, not having a conscious thing. No, it doesn't have that conscious thing, like Junker's gonna be moving slow. Look how far out that Junker is. This Junker needs to come into this fight and get its broadside in. And the Snuggly Gosling's already committed, facing the Then It Was Rebuilt and Blame Doug's brawl side. Like this, bad decision making 101. So yeah, he gets absolutely torn to shreds here. Then the Amadeus shows up late for the party. And even if this wasn't 4-0, it would have been 5-0 by the time engagement ended. Fire goes in. He's panic tarring. I like the tar here. Wind's actually moving in their direction, which is pretty convenient. But yeah, the building ends up knocking them around and taking them out. So yeah, always have good communications with your junker pilot if you're a pyramid in. You have to realize the constraints that the other pilot's under. You have to take into account travel times because junkers will be a little bit slower even if they're kerosening. And then they have to control their engage angle properly so that they can bring their broadsides at a decent range. So it's very hard to account for all of that. And you know what? I don't blame the Falconeers. Very hard thing to learn, and it comes with time. We've been seeing a lot of changes in the Falconeer roster lately, so I'm not surprised that awesome team synergy hasn't quite taken root yet because they keep changing their roster. And team synergy and communication comes with time. But yeah, you definitely want to be careful with engaging with your junker teammate. Like, you gotta give them time. That's the moral of the story. So yeah, I'm gonna switch my overlays and I'll be right back. Cha cha cha. Okay, so eventually here we'll have the Falconeers versus the Merrymen on Duel at Dawn. And now we get to see how threading the needle always goes terribly. Again, echoing my sentiments from the last video. This is why I love these two games, because they really reinforce what I was talking about and show that, it's something that happens to everyone. We all make that mistake, trying to thread the needle on dunes because you're like, okay, I got to cut them off there, right? Yeah. Oh, is this where Amadeus shows this awesome, like, fucking pathing right here? Like, this is awesome pathing. I recommend doing this, but, like, trying to thread the needle down in this area, terrible idea. But watch the Amadeus take this awesome path here. You can go high in through there, and he comes down through here, and it's meta as fuck. I love this beautiful play from Amadeus, showing us new pathing that we didn't even know about. I think that might have been a bit of a bump, so he's got a little bit of spatial awareness problems, but yeah, excellent pathing. Cutting off your teammates' arcs here, not a very good idea. But yeah, Blame Doug got absolutely torn into here, and we'll see what happens here. I can't really remember. There goes Snuggly Gosling's balloon. I always recommend, as soon as I see on the enemy team anything to do with balloon killing, I automatically take Drogue Shoot. Here we go, Snuggly Gosling gonna try and thread the needle here. And it's going to go terribly because this is always a terrible idea. Look, see, this is why we don't do this. You'll have plenty of time to thread the needle when you're living in a van down by the river. Chris Farley, anyone? No? Alright. Don't thread the needle is this PSA right here, okay? This always goes terribly. Now Snuggly Gosling's out of the fight. Wind is pushing him into this turbine. He is having an absolutely shit time right now. Amadeus is getting torn into, and he can't really assist because he's so, like, caught out. But he finally manages to get out of there and start putting fire on the Blame Dog, but gets absolutely torn apart by the dual focus. That turned into a 1v1 from Blame Dog, but Amadeus didn't really have a chance. So Snuggly Gosling trying to keep it at least even, but he's got that Lumberjack raining in, which absolutely destroys this balloon. Try to kerosene anything to try and break arcs. And I agree with that, but you know what? This turbine was the bane of Snuggly Gosling's existence. Don't ever try and thread the needle. Don't ever try and thread the needle. I've done 2 videos in a row now, and we've seen how bad it goes every single time someone tries to do that. So yeah, unless you're, grade A pod, this smart Amadeus does not, go in for the feed. Waits for his teammate. Excellent play. Love it. So they played fairly smart, except for the threading the needle. You never want to thread the needle. Don't thread the needle. They could have easily gone around the ribs, taken a safer journey. I'm pretty sure the Amadeus went around that way, which, awesome play by him. But yeah, no, don't thread the needle. I can't emphasize this enough. There's some things in Goyo that just kill you. That's one of them. That and the miscommunication, Junker not going in first into a meat grind. That's always a terrible time. So Snuggly Gosling feels committed at this point, so he starts going in. But now the Junker is lagging. Where's the Junker? Junker's nowhere here to help supplement this fight at all. He's caught out way out here. Snuggly Gosling needs to realize the restrictions of his teammate. Like, you're fighting against wind and you have to, like, properly get out of these ribs. That is so difficult. Like, you have to give the other pilot time. You have to realize how long that's going to take, and you have to take that into account before you initiate. Amadeus showing up late to the party and going to get torn apart because his teammate went in way too early. So yes, team communication, realizing the constraints of your teammate. Very, the themes of this past week's games, competitive games, I'd say. So here we are, 4-1. At least it's better than last game. Got that quick kill on Blame Doug. Zill has insane survivability. He's one of those super veteran pilots that are really hard to take out of the skies. So yes, red team spawning in, blue maintaining this open space. Now we've seen the Brood before, use this cloud cover to their advantage to stay hidden, and I loved that play. That was a prime example of awesome team communication. I feel like they were against Polaris or Corvette. I can't remember. So now this is where a dual pronged attack would go very nicely, but again, Snuggly Gosling has to time with his own teammate. I've been tearing into Snuggly Gosling this analysis. I'm sorry, but got to communicate with your teammate. Now Amadeus is getting a little too far ahead. Snuggly Gosling was being super careful, but now you have dual focus from blue team on the Amadeus, and he ends up getting completely torn apart too quickly before the Snuggly Gosling kills him, I believe. Yeah. Okay, cool. I was almost wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I get a lot of corrections in chat. Like last week, it was Jace who had the mine launcher, not Sammy BT. My bad. Yeah. So that's been the MiniRumble, at least the finals. Fairly resounding victory for the Merrymen. A little bit of miscommunication kind of threw the Falconeers off kilter. But, with practice, that team synergy will come. And excellent things in the future for Falconeers should they keep playing, which they will. I think they... Let me see. I think I have... Yeah, Cogs Week 4 right here. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. A little bit cut off. Let me see. Is this any better? Hey, that was really convenient, actually. So Falconeers versus Merrymen at Dunes. So we got that happening. Thing with Dunes is it's really wide open, so if Merrymen take that sniping build, they're gonna have a bit of an advantage. So Falconeers, there's not a whole lot of cover to, utilize to brawl, so they'll have to be super careful with that. Um, yeah. So thank you for all the teams who participated in the mini rumble. Again, if I go to community events, is this where it's posted it? He's starting a Sunday rumble, Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern, in this really awesome Mafia font. So yeah, this is where it'll be broadcasted, Twitch TV / esports. Fairly casual, like an arcade tournament, as I mentioned in the last video. So yeah, I hope you guys turn out for some competitive, all for good fun scrimmages. These will be casted by whoever shows up to cast them that day. So yeah, thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, critique, trash me. Go follow my Twitter over at Twitter /WAT Gaming. I also publish my videos there. That's a really nice way to stay current, as well as, your subscription box on YouTube. So it really depends on what you pay attention to more. I usually throw these videos in Signal Tower, so that might be how you find it. But yeah, enjoy your week. See you for week 4 of the COGs. I'll have another analysis coming then. Yeah, have a good one. Stay safe.